today in front of us, we have the guy from Fortnite. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's Saitama's toilet cleaner. Nah, I'm just playing a game. It's the Cyborg S-Class hero himself, Genos. And if you aren't familiar with Genos' game, let me just say, bro's a freaking beast and can whoop some ass with his mechanical body, which makes him one of the cooler characters in the series and a lot of people's faves in the show. And with the newer season of One Punch Man airing now, there was literally no better time for the REVOLTECH Amazing Yamaguchi Genos to release. But we can only hope that the figure is better than what the anime is looking like currently. First, looking at the packaging, it's minimalistic, but I gotta say that this promo of Genos on the front is really tough.
That's tough.
Tough pose and the little backdrop is tough. So tough. Then here's some branding and names. Top of the box has nothing much going on. The sides share some promos and stuff. Here's the bottom and then here's the back of the box, showing off some tough ass poses. Overall, this box is just a box, so let's see what the figure is like inside. And I gotta say, just like most REVOLTECHs, I always get so overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on, which is a good thing. So let's first look at Genos. He comes looking all snuggled up, looking all cozy in this little plastic wrap, but let's get him unsnuggled up and take this off and look at the figure full. And he's shirtless, which looks cool as heck. Now he does come with his blue top, but before we put that on, let's just admire this mechanical body. It looks badass. Like, all the mechanical details are looking top notch. It looks really nice with all the different parts and stuff. Also, what helps with the look of this area is the gray metallic paint and finish on it. It looks beautiful and looks so sick in person. And then there are some gold painted parts as well. They are pretty clean, but they do have like a tiny bit of paint bleeding onto the gray. It's sorta hard to notice though, as it's pretty minute. But yeah, love this mechanical body as it looks awesome. So now, let's complete his fit and put his top on. And at first, I was like, how the heck do I get this on? But it has Velcro on the back, so it makes it pretty easy to equip. And when it's on, it's alright. I don't know, the collar just drives me crazy that I can't really like fix it. There's no wire in it or anything, so it's sorta hard to adjust. And this is the best I could do. And it's not as bad now, but I don't know, it's just really clumpy and bunched up. I bet ironing it might help. So you could probably just do that or steam it, I don't know. At least the rest of it doesn't look bad, like the top fits them well, and the Genos design is done fine, and the stitching is done okay for the most part. Just, you know, the collar area and stuff isn't the best, and I'm sure some people probably don't like this big Velcro connection area on his back, which is valid because it is pretty prominent. And I wonder why they just didn't make it out of a stretchy fabric material. I don't know, but maybe something has like similar material to one that comes with Stormbaki, because it works nicely. Maybe they can do that one day. Also, that shirt on Genos ain't that bad. Then moving down to his legs, I think the pants are done well, as they have a really nice matte finish on them, with some holes in the pants revealing his metal legs, which have a nice metallic finish on them. Very pleased with the pants, and then looking at the feet, I'm thrown off some because his feet are tiny. Seriously, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm not looking up no Genos feet in my browser, so I'm just going to say that they are too small. Sort of throws the proportions off. And speaking of those, I think they're pretty good for the most part, besides the tiny feet. And I also almost forgot to talk about the hair and head area. It looks nice, I kinda didn't like it at first, but it's grown on me. And another thing I'd like to mention is that bro got earrings on. That's tough. So yeah, overall, the look for this figure is good to me. Now there are a few minor things here and there that I'd like to be done a little differently, but overall it's good, so let's now take a look at the accessories that he comes with. And in REVOLTECH fashion, bro came with an abundance of stuff. And that's awesome, as this is what we love to see. First, he comes with 7 faceplates. He has a neutral resting face, a side eye to the right neutral face, a side eye to the left neutral face, an angry yelling face, a side eye to the right yelling face, a side eye to the left yelling face, and then a looking down to the left face, which does have a misprint on the mouth, so that isn't ideal. And all the faces are honestly passable, but I do feel like they suffer from having their eyes closer together than what they should be, like Saitama. Now, it's not horrible, and really only bothers me with the regular straight on neutral face, but the rest are fine, so that is nice. Then moving on to the hands, he comes with 4 pairs of them. He has 2 fisted hands, 2 open relaxed hands, 2 open expression hands, and 2 blasting hands, and all the hands look really nice as they are sculpted very well and have great paint application on them. And then he comes with his dual blades. They look dope and just like how they do in the series, and I really like the finish on them. Also, they just plug into the bottom of his fist, but be careful because the fit is really snug, so I would heat the fists up some so they can go in easier. And after that, he comes with many different types of explosive and firing parts. The first one he comes with are these long ones. They look really cool and I love the coloring on them. And these pieces are meant to recreate this iconic move by Genos. Really dope, and setting it up is simple. Just pop his forearm out, connect this effect piece into the bicep. Might be a little snug at first, so be cautious. And then plug the forearm into the end of it, and bam, you're good to go. And as for the other effects, he has these four. They all look really good as well, as the sculpt and coloring is awesome. And you can use these pieces pretty much anywhere you see a peg hole in bro. Yes, even the butthole. No, I'm just kidding. That unfortunately doesn't work, so no booty blasts this time around. But what you can do is plug these bigger pieces into the back of his shoulders, and then connect the smaller ones into those, and now you got him doing like a super boost, and this is really sick. Also, you can use these on his hands, and as shown, you can use them combined or just do them separately, which is awesome and fun. So, really love the variety and choices we get here. And then he comes with a stand. Always great to have, and then lastly, he comes with some extra pegs for the effect pieces. So, all in all for the accessories, I'm quite pleased, as they are enough to keep you entertained for a while. But I know there are some of you who would like more, like his big gun thing he does, or more explosions. Which is valid to want, but I still think this is enough and I'm satisfied with it. But I'm not satisfied with the windy hairpiece being locked behind a store exclusive pre-order bonus. That's lame. But at least it isn't something that I'm crazily missing with this guy, though it would be cool to have. Could be worse, like Aaron not coming with a yelling face and a yelling face being the bonus. That was just some ass, so I am sorta glad missing out on the Genos bonus isn't that painful of a loss, but still sucks. But enough with that, let's take a gander at his articulation. And since this is a REVOLTECH amazing Yamaguchi, we should expect some great articulation and posability, right? Maybe. Who knows? So let's find out with first looking at the head range. He can look really far upwards, then he can look really far downwards, look side to side well, and then the all-around head tilt is great. Then looking at the shoulders, they seem to only go up this far. It's not bad, maybe a little bit limited, but that is a little bit expected with the bulkiness of the shoulders. And it's honestly acceptable for me. And now I'm going to take the top off so you can see what's going on under. And don't worry, the top doesn't limit anything, I just want y'all to be able to see how everything moves. The shoulders by themselves cross over one another pretty well going forwards, and the same can be said for going backwards as well. And if you want to take this to the next level, you can use these lat joint things and get an insane amount of crossing over going on forwards and backwards. Then at the biceps, I'm very unsure if they're supposed to rotate as it's not moving. I don't know, and I'm not going to force them, so if y'all know if they can move, please let me know. Then at the elbows, they can bend a good ways past 90 degrees and can rotate, and looking at the wrist, they get a good bit of movement. At the torso, the upper diaphragm area moves well all around as it gets good forwards and backwards motion, fine side to side movement, and splendid all around tilt. Then below that at the waist, it gets a little bit of tilt and decent side to side motion, and it combined with the upper diaphragm joint allows for this much total forwards crunch, and that's just nasty. And looking at the backwards crunch, it isn't as insane, but it's still pretty good. Then at the legs, like most REVOLTECHs, the legs go forwards outwards more than just straight on forwards. Doesn't really bother me that much with these kind of figures, as it really doesn't affect the posing that much, but to some it still might. Then they can go this far backwards and a decent bit outwards. He has a thigh swivel, but seems to be stuck on the left leg of my copy. That stinks, but the right one does work fine, so I'm definitely going to have to get this left one loosened up. Then right below at the knees, they are single jointed and get a great amount of flexion. And then he has a calf joint, allows for some rotation and forwards and backwards motion, so that's nice. And then for his ankles, they were really stiff on me at first, so I thought they were going to be ass, but after loosening them up some, I still think that. Nah, I'm just playing, but they still definitely aren't the best thing ever, as they can only twist some, go up and down a little bit, and the ankle rocker is decent as it's pretty limited as well. And then he has a toe joint. So yeah, to sum up his articulation, it's great as he can pose really smooth, pretty effortlessly. Of course, there are a few issues and limitations, but they haven't hindered much fun for me, and that's what counts. So let's now see how he looks next to some other figures. First, here he is next to REVOLTECH Saitama. And is this scale right? I don't know. I thought Genos was a little bit taller than Saitama, but I could be mistaken. But that hasn't killed the fun I've had posing these two together, so that is awesome. Then here he is next to Daisen Mahagaru. Not bad, but I cannot wait to ditch bro for REVOLTECH Garu. Gimme! But to carry on, here he is next to SHP Arts Bakugo Midoriya. Here he is next to REVOLTECH Spider-Man and Thor. Here he is next to Storm Marina Yujiro and Bakihama. Here he is next to SHP Arts Luffy and Zoro. Here he is next to SHP Arts Gon and Killua. Here he is next to SHP Arts Team Gojo. Here he is next to Demon Knight Fate Goku. And lastly, here he is, next to Normal Collectibles, Yuzurahama. So what do I think about this release as a whole? The only word that comes to my brain is tough. Yeah, that's right, this is a tough as fuck release and I've enjoyed it a bunch. Honestly, more than I thought, and kinda more than Saitama. I don't know, this guy just feels more complete to me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the beautiful and badass look of this guy, or the awesome accessory selection, or the great articulation and posability that this guy has. It is most certainly because of those features that makes this guy a fantastic and very tough release in my opinion, and I recommend him to any One Punch Man, Genos, or anime fan, as you'll love having it in your collection. Now sadly, I think Hobby Genki sold out of this guy, but they did just reissue Saitama, and I'm sure a Genos one will be coming soon. So down below I'll already have that link ready. And that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'd really love to know how y'all feel about this line so far. Personally, I'm loving it, and I cannot wait for Garo and frickin' Boros. Frickin' peak dream figures wait until release. Like, man, I cannot wait. But until then, you guys please take care, and I thank y'all for watching and the continued support. I will see all y'all in the next one. Peace.